Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning. Good morning. I am all over the place, you guys. Welcome back to J is for Justice. I am under the weather, and I sat down at my computer, and I was going to do a video on Rudy Farias, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live. We're going to get this out there because there's some information that I found about his father, his brother, all this other stuff. So we're going to get right into it. This is going to be a quick live, probably about 30 minutes. And I just got done with my online doctor appointment. And he's not giving me antibiotics. He gave me a bunch of, and if I'm talking loud, my ears are stuffed. I'm a mess, but I'm here. And this is my dedication to you guys and to this channel. So let's get over to the boob tube without further ado.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
And we're going to talk about Rudy today. And I have a little announcement to make before we begin. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have a collab here going on. And it's going to be Jay meets the drunk turkey tomorrow. Look for that event to go up later today. Let's get right into Rudy Farias. Rudy Farias was allegedly missing for 8 years. He was found laying in front of a church. It's a crazy story. Now we find out that mom was holding him all these years. Nuts. But I found some other stuff about his dad. His dad used to be a Houston police officer. So, y'all, you can't make this stuff up. All right, let's go.
I can only imagine what his mother goes through, just the simple fact that she doesn't know his condition.
She would hide him in the house.
For her family, that was wrong and awful.
Someone else says that Farias clearly told him and HPD that he has been living at home with his mother all this time.
You mean? It hurt me, my cousin, and all my family right now. She need to go to jail today.
Right now.
She doesn't know his condition, his health, his state, where he's at, what he's up to, if he's okay or not.
All right, so we're going to pause there for a second. And I don't know the ins and outs of this yet, but I have heard that this photo and these hospital photos are not new, that they are in fact old. So this boy was 17 and a half when he went missing, and he went missing walking his dogs in Houston, Texas, okay? He went for a walk with his dogs, and he was never seen again. Now, his dogs were found, but he was not ever found. So his mother moved. She lied about him being missing. She was SAing her boy. And I think that the mother got really fucked up mentally because she lost her husband and to suicide, no less. We'll get into that. This kid's dad killed himself in 2014. And then his brother also died in a motorcycle accident. So the mother lost her son and her husband. And it sounds like she may have made Rudy be a replacement. Did you hear what I said?
Sorry.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So they were in a hotel actually in Humble. It's spelled humble, but I was schooled that it's a silent H. It's humble. Yes. So she had him go by Dolph. She gave him a different name. She moved, but she replaced her husband, I think, with her son. So let's get into it. And like I said, I don't know when these were taken. She tried to play him off as new, but
I heard horrific things from that young man.
And that his mother purposely made it appear that he was nowhere to be found.
Whenever the investigators would come, she would hide him in the house.
Rudy, who X described was coherent, met with investigators for a couple of hours this afternoon.
He was in the room, he wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't say one word when she was in the room.
According to Quanell X, his mother attempted to interrupt the interview process 3 times.
They took her to another room and kept her there for a minute after he had confided with us what was said.
Family members of Rudy showed up upset and wanting answers.
She need to go to jail today.
Right now. I
don't care. If I gotta take my cousin home to stay with me for a couple of days, I'll take him home.
We're here for that reason.
That's not right what she did to him.
When he first went missing, he didn't report it to the police, and they're trying to say that he might have done some crimes, which he didn't. And now they want to arrest me because they said I was hiding him.
Mother.
I fear for Rudy Farias' life.
that was his aunt.
Because they said I was hiding him.
He used to come in my garage.
Some okay, boys.
And
chill with us.
Chill with my cousin, my son, my daughter. She's at work right now, but yeah, boy ain't been missing since he was no.
We were chilling, laughing, good time.
Some days he would go to the park and sit in the park around the corner by himself.
Houston police say they got a call on Thursday about a man sleeping outside a church in Magnolia Park. He had something on him with a family member's identification, police say, and that's how they were able to contact his mom. Then Texas for the Missing tweeted out over the weekend that man was Rudy Farias, who had been missing since 2015 when he didn't return back from a walk with his dogs. His mother shared pictures with ABC 13 of her son at the hospital, telling us he was found with cuts and bruises, and even cried to me over the phone, saying she believed her son had been kidnapped and hasn't seen him in years.
Because they said I was hiding him.
His mother told officials at the time of his disappearance that he suffered from depression and PTSD since his brother died in a motorcycle accident in 2011.
You can hear him coming, sometimes you can't. He lost his brother in a deadly motorcycle accident.
He had lost a brother in a motorcycle accident. I know when he's thinking about his brother, he really wouldn't come hang out. He'd go sit back there in the back of the woods by himself.
He was known as shy, quiet, reserved young man. Very soft-spoken, but wonderful heart. He spearheaded a program called the R3 Band Project. It helped raise awareness, motorcycle awareness specifically, to just bring the awareness out there as far as the dangers and the cautions that need to be taken out there. As they have the saying, share the road. Sometimes you can hear him coming, sometimes you can't. He lost his brother in a deadly motorcycle accident. And it's pretty tragic. So that's what had him head up the project, to just bring awareness to that. Rudy was between 17 and 18 years old. He's been missing since March 6th of 2015. He was out walking his dogs when he came up missing. He'd be about 20 years old now. He had brown hair, brown eyes, 5'8", about 200 pounds. His father was former HPD officer, Rudy Farias III. He got losses as well. So you can imagine with the loss of his father, the loss of his brother, some of the things that this young man was having to deal with. I can only imagine, the pain and anguish that his mother goes through. Just the simple fact that she doesn't know his condition, his health, his state, where he's at, what he's up to, if he's okay or not. And I couldn't imagine carrying a burden like that for myself. It's one of those. It's a tough thing that I wish personally no one had to go through. Just trying to look at some notes here. The one thing that we're thankful for as family and friends of family is that he had the support during the loss of his brother and his father. So we were there to support him as best as we could. And again, not knowing where he's at, his condition, or anything like that, really, is a struggle for us as it is for all of you here.
And that is his uncle speaking in 2016. So we're going to talk about his dad's suicide here in just a few minutes.
Safe.
How'd this happen? Oh, we believe in miracles, and this certainly was a miracle.
Tim Miller is the director for Texas EquiSearch. He is one of several people who helped search high and low for Farias.
Can't even tell you how many times we've searched and how many leads and tips came in, and then they just kind of faded away, and we heard nothing, and now all of a sudden this.
Investigators
with investigators in the room when they were interviewing Rudy, and he says his mom has allegedly held him there. He's been living with his mom this entire time. Also, Quan LX said, that his mom has also been sexually abusing him and drugging him. Now, Quan LX says he got involved in the case after the mom asked him to come to a hotel room here in Humble. She asked him to come meet with investigators. Quan L says Rudy met him and investigators alone, and that's when Rudy told them everything. Remember, Rudy went missing back in March of 2015, and according to Quan LX, Rudy told investigators today he just ran away and came back home 2 days later. Quan L says Rudy's mother convinced him not to go to police when he came back home. Now, how did Rudy get out last week? Well, Quan LX says Rudy told investigators he stole his mother's car last week, ran away, and then he crashed the car, and that's when he was found outside of the church last week. And again, Quan LX said police out here on the scene were just making phone calls, calling the DA's office, trying to obviously speak with other investigators, but they did.
From a distance, neighbors took video of Rudy Farias' mother loading up a car in her driveway Tuesday night.
It's just we've always, in our hearts, knew that he wasn't really missing.
During those 8 years, his cousin Cassandra Lopez says she called 911 in 2018 after family members saw Farias at his mother's home.
Okay, so this is where it's important. Family members called the police. The police didn't act on it. That's what happened. The family members knew he had been seen, and they called the police, and the police didn't do anything. So what do you do if the police won't follow up and help you?
She says their grandmother told her she spoke with Rudy often.
And how did those conversations go when she would talk about Rudy?
She would just say, I saw Rudy, he came to check on me, and, we just said hello and have their little conversation. She never went into detail, but she would say she saw him.
HPD says officers responded but didn't find him. Neighbors tell me Farias has been living with his mother this entire time, but they know him by the name Dolph. Did you ever notice anything suspicious over there?
No, when he talked to us, he doesn't say too much on who he really is. We just know that he lives down here with his mom. He goes to work with her around 6 p.m. to maybe 7 or 8 in the morning. And he just been freely walking down the street.
So she was also taking him to work with her.
Neighbors shared this text message appearing to show a conversation between Farias' mother and the neighbor where she identifies herself as Dolph's mom. Lopez hopes Farias is safe enough to tell his story.
I mean, half of his life is almost, or a quarter of his life's already been taken away from him. You know, it's just not right. He didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that.
She says it's only a matter of time before
ever being missing.
Everything's coming out to the light because I knew that she's been lying all this time.
Rudy's aunt, Pauline.
See, they all knew she was lying, but they couldn't do anything, I guess. Weird.
Sanchez Rodriguez tonight is worried knowing he's still with his mother.
I fear for Rudy Farias' life.
This is video neighbors took Tuesday night as Rudy's mother loaded up their car, less than 24 hours before police questioned her.
And now they want to arrest me because they said I was hiding him.
Rudy's mother then shared that. The neighbors also say she offered to pay them. Did it seem like she was offering money to get y'all to stay quiet?
Stay quiet. She wanted us to keep quiet. But I told her, before I walked off, I told her one thing I'm not supposed to do is lie about something.
See, thank God for these people that are like, no, honey, we're not lying. She was hinting around that she was going to pay them to be quiet. This lady is sick.
He never came in my garage with a sober mind. Never. The only thing he said to me was he didn't want to be at home because his mom got on his nerves.
And we know that Rudy and his mother left that hotel after interviewing with detectives earlier today. We have been here in their neighborhood all evening so far tonight.
No sign of them. His mother was able to leave that hotel yesterday with this boy, with this man. They left together and there's been no sign unless there's something else that's happened overnight. But as of last night, they were together. She was not arrested. And I don't know if they just didn't have enough. They have to still investigate or what. I don't know. Here's some photos of Rudy and his family. Now, if we look at this, they had a GoFundMe back in the day. And we're going to read this. It's been over a month and Rudy is still missing. Please help us find Rudy Farias. Rudy went out to walk his two puppies March 6, 2015, and has not been seen nor heard from since then. Rudy's two puppies were found, but not Rudy. He suffers both physical and mental disabilities, so we need to get him home ASAP. All ground searches have been pulled back. And now we, the entire Houston, Texas community, have to get our own ground search together. People say it takes a village to raise a child. Now we need the village to help find our child. We are asking for donations to be able to offer a reward for information leading us to Rudy, as well as medical expenses for Rudy since he has been missing since March 6th. And each day that passes means his health is deteriorating gravely. Rudy's mother is a single parent who has already lost her eldest son in 2011 and Rudy's father in 2014. And then she pulled this in 2015. She needs financial assistance since she is unable to work, understandably so, with her son missing. The bills are piling up and Rudy's mother's health is deteriorating. Now we're going to talk about Rudy's dad. This is a picture of Rudy's dad when he was a Houston officer. Lobo. No, I don't think he was ever in the hospital. He was in a hotel. He was in a hotel and they left the hotel together. So this is Rudy's dad. He's the third. Rudy the third. So this is a little bit, I don't know if this is why he unalived himself, but this is an article from August 21st of 2014 from KHOU Houston. A police officer facing criminal allegations as part of a Houston Police Department internal affairs investigation committed suicide Tuesday, reports KHOU. Rudolph Farias, 51, was a 21-year veteran of the force. Multiple sources confirmed to KHOU that Farias was relieved of duty earlier Tuesday. He was one of 4 HPD, Houston Police Department officers dismissed and ordered to turn in their badges amid a ticket rigging investigation. A KHOU investigation of speeding tickets written by the Houston Police Traffic Enforcement Unit reveals several dozen cases in which officers were listed in 2 places at once. That includes Farias. For example, Farias is listed on 2 tickets along the Katy Freeway, one early February morning at 12:29 a.m. He is shown as a witnessing officer near the Westcott Street exit. But also at 12:29 a.m., the same officer is listed as writing a ticket to another citizen near Gessner Road. That's 7 miles away. KHOU reports that another set of questionable tickets was issued late at night in May along the Katy Freeway. Records show Farias was supposed to be at Westcott Street witnessing a speeder, but records show he was writing up a citizen for speeding 9 miles away at the same time. Law enforcement sources told KHOU that the motivation for the alleged ticket rigging was payment for court overtime. Witnessing officers are subpoenaed and must appear ready to testify. The records show that Farias made $158,000 in overtime over the past 3 years. It's unclear how much of that amount was linked to the questionable tickets. So he had to turn in his badge. He had to turn in his badge after 21 years. So is that why he unalived himself? So, I mean, let's break it down. This man lost his oldest son as well. Not that that's an excuse to steal from your employer. I'm not saying that at all, but their oldest son died in an accident in 2011. In 2014, he got busted, unalived himself, lost his job. And then in 2015, the boy Rudy ran away, but came back 2 days later and his mom kept him hidden. What's up, Nicole? What's up, everybody? Crazy stuff. Lots of dynamics going on here. You got to wonder, were they a normal family before the oldest son died? Was that the catalyst that started this family on a downward spiral? A 21-year veteran of the police force. Wow. So here is the obituary. This is what he looked like. That's him younger, obviously, probably when he first started. But here is his obituary. And I'm not sure if he was married to the mother, because it says that his wife was Romy Marie Farias. But what's interesting is that his son isn't listed. Rudy the 4th. Isn't that weird? Unless it's Rudy Gabriel right here. Maybe that's him. Rudy Gabriel Farias the 4th. There he is. Roman Garrett Farias. Luke. But if he remarried, he might have kids with her as well. But this is his obit. What do you guys think? No, I mean, a lot of people have losses, of course, right? No excuse, but it just sounds like maybe if the mother suffered from mental illness, that could be a reason why the mother lost her shit. Not only did she lose her son, then she lost her husband, to suicide. And it sounds like the family was lost without these two. Like, it was left to just Rudy and his mother, and it sounds like she suffered from some kind of mental illness, or I don't know if it was brought on by grief or what it was, or something underlying, but it sounds to me like she did not want to let him go. She didn't want to let him go to the point where she lied to their entire family. I heard there was supposed to be a press conference today. Let's see here. I don't see anything as of yet. Nothing as of yet, and I don't see any time either. But 2 hours ago, it says Houston police say they've launched an investigation. But I don't know if anybody knows where he is. I would have to think that we would be naive if we believed that they didn't follow them. Right? We would have to be naive if we thought that they didn't follow these people. 11 a.m. Central, so that's in another 30 minutes. Oh, man. I know, I think Diana says my mind has been officially blown with this case. I hear you. I hear you. It's very crazy, Potato. All right, let's see if we can get our chat box to work over here. Zinc Floyd became a member. Thank you, Zinc. Welcome to the lounge. I don't think they're missing. I think they probably know where they are. They just, they're not going to tell us that type thing. But interesting, though, that the father unalived himself after getting shit canned from his job for writing fake tickets. Or writing tickets and then getting overtime to go to court for them. Oh, thank you, Suze. It looks like we have a presser in 30 minutes. I wish I would have waited 30 minutes to go live. Thank you, Shell, for the super sticker. Let's see if the alert box is going to work today, guys. What you think? Let's see. I just feel like crap-ola.
So is that a joint?
There it is.
Or is it a cigar?
Shell just donated towards a cigar.
Just based on my observations, her hair was very greasy.
Okay, so while we're sitting here waiting, I have a funny story. My granddaughter went home the other day, and I get a text from my son, and he says, "Okay, whose hair is very greasy?" She was playing with my sound bites when she was here, and that was the one she thought was the funniest.
Just based on my observations, her hair was very greasy.
She said it verbatim, even the observations part. Jackie, Miss Nightpot says, we can hang till the presser. We can. I'm just not going to be in my normal mode. I thought it was freaking hilarious that she even understood what that meant. Like, she heard it the first time she heard it. She laughed. I'm like, how do you even know what that means?
Everybody does that. It's okay.
All right. Does it look like it's going to be on KHOU, you guys? What are we going to do for a half an hour? Let me know if it's going to be on KHOU. Oh, I know. She is a trip. She's hilarious. $11 a.m. at HPD headquarters. We'll live the thing on our social media. Okay. Social media. Houston PD. Thank you, Mike Senna. Thank you so much. News conference. HPD dash cameras and update on Rudy. Okay. Here we are. They even have an event, dude. Houston Police, you rock. Here, I'm going to show you. Punani says, let's all do coke at the White House while we wait. Let's do it. You're going to need extra slow in a second. Hey, have you guys seen the merch store? You have time right now to check out the merch store. www.j4j411.live/merch. And when you get your merch, this will be you.
My threads are fresh and I'm looking deaf. Yo, what's up with LOC?
I promise you'll be looking fresh. And if you get a t-shirt or any kind of merch, a cup, hat, whatever, send us your photos and model those so we can see you in your merch.
I heard Eduardo with like a G.
Zinc. That's what I'm taking a lot of right now is zinc. Hello, Frankie Hopkins. I love that last name, Hopkins. I like saying it. I know, Melissa B., you got to send us a picture. Model it for us, beautiful. Come on, work it. Work it and own that shiz. I think I actually entertain myself more than I entertain anyone else. But no, for real, check out the merch store, man. I have $20 t-shirts, $20 hats. Trying to keep shiz affordable for y'all. So jump through that portal while we wait. Oh, man, I'm in rare form today. So how you guys doing? I have slept so much because I feel like shit that I can't sleep anymore. So I was like, oh, I'm going to put off my live till 1 o'clock. I'll sleep a little bit. Couldn't do it. Madonna, I think she's going to be okay. Yep. Madonna's good.
Strike a pose.
Daisy Dead, what's up? Daffy Duck. This is for you, Daffy Duck. Oh, lordy, lordy. All right, let's get this Houston PD. I'm going to show you. They have an event. I'm really impressed. It's just a test. It's just a test, but I'm impressed. All right, there There it is. Check it, check it. They got the countdown and everything. Yeah, I think Madonna's going to be A-OK, Robin Hood. Daff. Shell needs a nap. Go take one, honey. I give you permission to take a nap. We are just waiting for the press conference. I guess maybe I can update my title. That might help. Press conference. Look at that, guys. We are on the ball here at J is for Justice. Thanks to you. All right. Looks like we are all set. Ret to go. Ret to go when they are ret to go. We got about 20 minutes to listen to me ramble about absolutely nothing. So are you guys liking the doggy cam today? Are you liking the doggy cam? Do you think that they're going to announce that they've arrested her ass? Because if neither one of them have been seen, let's do a poll. I think she's arrested. I think she's in custody. Do you think HPD is going to announce the mom's arrest? I do. Let's see what you think. Get your answers in. Get your answers in now. Stephanie says kidnapping or unlawful detainment and maybe abuse of a person with a disability. I don't know if he has a disability. He might have one now because she's messed with him, but I feel like if she was essaying him, she's going to get worse than that. Who essays their own son? I mean, I can't with these people.
In the name of Jesus, Father God, Lord.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to get something to drink. While we're waiting, I'm going to go back to the boob tube and make sure the boob tube is lined up. And if you are just joining and you didn't see the first part of the vid, I'm just going to go ahead and roll that footage again, you guys. So you guys can watch that video again about his dad, about the uncle. We've got 19 minutes until this starts. So we're going to watch my presentation one more time. Gives you a little background about Rudy. His uncle talks about how he spearheaded a motorcycle awareness, look out on the road type thing. And that was how he dealt with his grief. And then his mom took advantage of him and made him for her whatever she needed. And it's gross. Enjoy.
I can only imagine that his mother goes through, just the simple fact that she doesn't know his condition.
She would hide him in the house. For her family, that was wrong and awful.
Someone else says that Farias clearly told him and HPD that he has been living at home with his mother all this time.
You mean? It hurt me, my cousin, and all my family right now. She need to go to jail today.
Right now. Right now.
She doesn't know his condition, his health, his state, where he's at, what he's up to, if he's okay or not.
I heard
horrific things from that young man.
And that his mother purposely made it appear that he was nowhere to be found.
Whenever the investigators would come, she would hide him in the house.
Rudy, who X described was coherent, met with investigators for a couple of hours this afternoon.
He was in the room, he wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't say one word when she was in the room.
According to Quanell X, his mother attempted to interrupt the interview process 3 times.
They took her to another room and kept her there for a minute after he had confided with us what was said.
Family members of Rudy showed up upset and wanting answers.
She need to go to jail today.
Right now. Right now.
I don't care if I gotta take my cousin home to stay with me for a couple of days. I'll take him home.
We're here for that reason.
That's not right what she did to him.
When he first went missing, he didn't report it to the police, and they're trying to say that he might have done some crimes, which he didn't. And now they want to arrest me because they said I was hiding him.
Mother. I fear for Rudy Farias' life.
Because they said I was hiding him.
He used to come in my garage.
Some boys.
And
chill with us.
Chill with my cousin, my son, my daughter. She's at work right now, but yeah, boy ain't been missing since he was no.
We were chilling, laughing, good time.
Some days he would go to the park and sit in the park around the corner by himself.
Houston police say they got a call on Thursday about a man sleeping outside a church in Magnolia Park. He had something on him with a family member's identification, police say, and that's how they were able to contact his mom. Then Texas for the Missing tweeted out over the weekend that man was Rudy Farias, who had been missing since 2015 when he didn't return back from a walk with his dogs. His mother shared pictures with ABC 13 of her son at the hospital, telling us he was found with cuts and bruises, and even cried to me over the phone, saying she believed her son had been kidnapped and hasn't seen him in years.
Because they said I was hiding him.
His mother told officials at the time of his disappearance that he suffered from depression and PTSD since his brother died in a motorcycle accident in 2011.
You can hear him coming, sometimes you can't. He lost his brother in a deadly motor.
So she recognized this kid's grief. That's even sicker. That this mother recognized that he had PTSD and depression and still did this to him. What a weirdo.
He had lost a brother in a motorcycle accident. I know when he's thinking about his brother, he really wouldn't come hang out. He'd go sit back there in the back of the woods by himself.
He was known as shy, quiet, reserved young man, very soft-spoken, but wonderful heart. He spearheaded a program called the R3 Band Project. It helped raise awareness, motorcycle awareness specifically, to just bring the awareness out there as far as the dangers and the cautions that need to be taken out there. As they have the saying, share the road. Sometimes you can hear him coming, sometimes you can't. He lost his brother in a deadly motorcycle accident, and it's pretty tragic. So that's what had him head up the project, to just bring awareness to that. Rudy was between 17 and 18 years old. He's been missing since March 6th of 2015. He was out walking his dogs when he came up missing. He'd be about 20 years old now. He had brown hair, brown eyes, 5'8", about 200 pounds. His father was former HPD officer, Rudy Farias III. He got lost as well. So you can imagine with the loss of his father, the loss of his brother, some of the things that this young man was having to deal with. I can only imagine the pain and anguish that his mother goes through, just the simple fact that she doesn't know his condition, his health, his state, where he's at, what he's up to, if he's okay or not. And I couldn't imagine carrying a burden like that for myself. It's one of those, it's a tough thing that I wish personally no one had to go through. Just trying to look at some notes here. the one thing that we are thankful for as family and friends of family is that he had the support during the loss of his brother and his father. So we were there to support him as best that we could. And again, not knowing where he's at, his condition, or anything like that, really, is a struggle for us as it is for all of you here.
Crazy. He talks about Rudy being soft-spoken, kind, gentle boy. With a
safe.
Mother.
How this happened? Oh, we believe in
Here's
miracles, and this certainly was a miracle.
Tim Miller is the director for Texas EquiSearch. He is one of several people who helped search high and low for Farias.
Can't even tell you how many times we've searched and how many leads and tips came.
This pisses me off because this woman wasted such good resources with Tim Miller and his group. They had Tim Miller. Look at all the updates that Tim Miller and his group did. It's scrolling on the left of your screen. Sorry, I'm medicine head. But it's scrolling on the left of your screen. Update after update after update. There's people that really, really need his services. Unbelievable, this woman. I'm going to rewind a little bit. Take a look at the updates that they did. I mean, they went high, seriously high and low.
Tim Miller is the director for Texas EquiSearch. He is one of several people who helped search high and low for Farias.
Can't even tell you how many times we've searched and how many leads and tips came in, and then they just kind of faded away, and we heard nothing, and now all of a sudden this.
Investigators
with investigators in the room when they were interviewing Rudy, and he says his mom has allegedly held him there. He's been living with his mom this entire time. Also, Quan LX said, that his mom has also.
Okay. In the background, you hear angry, pissed off family members. They're at a hotel, and he just left with his mother. And the family is livid.
That his mom has also been sexually abusing him and drugging him. Now, Quanelec says he got involved in the case after the mom asked him to come to a hotel room here in Humble. She asked him to come meet with investigators. Quanel says Rudy met him and investigators alone, and that's when Rudy told them everything. Remember, Rudy went missing back in March of 2015, and according to Quanelec, Rudy told investigators today he just ran away and came back home 2 days later. Quanel says Rudy's mother convinced him not to go to police when he came back home. Now, how did Rudy get out last week? Well, Quanel X says Rudy told investigators he stole his mother's car last week, ran away, and then he crashed the car, and that's when he was found outside of the church last week. And again, Quanel X said police.
So he had his mother's credit card. He had her credit card. And they called her first.
Out here on the scene, we're just making phone calls, calling the DA's office, trying to obviously speak with other investigators, but they did.
From a distance, neighbors took video of Rudy Farias' mother loading up a car in her driveway Tuesday night.
It's just we've always, in our hearts, knew that he wasn't really missing.
During those 8 years, his cousin Cassandra Lopez says she called 911 in 2018 after family members saw Farias at his mother's home. She says their grandmother told her she spoke with Rudy often.
And I bet you that they blew off the grandmother saying that, oh, she's just old. She thinks she's seeing Rudy.
Those conversations go, and she would talk about Rudy.
She would just say, I saw Rudy, he came to check on me, and, we just said hello and have their little conversation. She never went into detail, but she would say she saw him.
HPD says officers responded but didn't find him. Neighbors tell me Farias has been living with his mother this entire time, but they know him by the name Dolph. Did you ever notice anything suspicious over there?
No, like when he talked to us, he doesn't like say too much on who he really is. We just know that he lives down here with his mom. He goes to work with her like around 6 p.m. to like maybe 7 or 8 in the morning. And he just been freely walking down the streets.
Neighbors shared this text message appearing to show a conversation between Farias' mother and the neighbor where she identifies herself as Dolph's mom. Lopez hopes Farias is safe enough to tell his story.
I mean, half of his life is almost, or a quarter of his life's already been taken away from him. You know, it's just not right. He didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that.
She says it's only a matter of time before
ever being missing.
Everything's coming out to the light because I knew that she's been lying all this time.
Rudy's aunt, Pauline Sanchez Rodriguez, tonight is worried knowing he's still with his mother.
I fear for Rudy Farias' life.
This is video neighbors took Tuesday night as Rudy's mother loaded up their car, less than 24 hours before police questioned her.
And now they want to arrest me because they said I was hiding him.
Rudy's mother then shared that. The neighbors also say she offered to pay them.
Did it seem like she was offering money to get y'all to stay quiet?
Stay quiet. She wanted us to keep quiet. But I told her, before I walked off, I told her one thing I'm not supposed to do is lie about something.
Regularly.
He never came in my garage with a sober mind. Never. The only thing he said to me was he didn't want to be at home because his mom got on his nerves.
Oh, I'm sure she did. If she was essaying him, I bet she got more than on his damn nerves.
And we know that Rudy and his mother left that hotel after interviewing with detectives earlier today. We have been here in their neighborhood all evening so far tonight.
We are waiting for a press conference in roughly 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes. Hey, Mary P. Welcome, everybody that's just joining. We should be starting the press conference soon. And there's nothing wrong with your volume or your sound or your speakers. That's just me. I'm sick. And if you say COVID, you lose a testicle.
If you say Ferris Bueller, you lose a testicle.
I did a telemed appointment this morning. He asked me if I did a COVID test. It's just a test. No, I didn't do a COVID test, Doc. All right, let's get our news conference up. We are waiting for Houston PD to start. We got about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We'll be live, guys. I just want to know the truth about what happened here. Whoops. I was trying to put some background waiting music on. Hold on. All right, here's our waiting music. 3 minutes.
murder.
All right, 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. This is a little Pink Floydish. All right. We should be starting anytime. Daisy says, I would love hallucinogenics. I've always been too scared. But I will tell you that I did hear that What's His Nuts mom, Rudy's mom, was giving him mushrooms soon after 11 a.m. Okay, so we're still waiting. Hey, Sam. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm jealous. I've never seen Pink Floyd. Outdoorsy Life, what year did you see Pink Floyd? Here we go. Nope, it's not the cleaning jam for sure. Hey, Marie. Welcome, members. I sound like shit. This is a good tune, guys. Mushrooms and acid. Yeah, his neighbor said he never came down there. Like, he never came down there sober. Outdoorsy, that is so badass. Outdoorsy Life's first concert was in 77 and they saw Pink Floyd. Not many people can say that, Outdoorsy. That's pretty damn cool. I would try the microdosing though. I would try that because you're not like tripping when you do that. I don't want to see things that aren't there. I don't want things to look like they're breathing when they're not. That stuff terrifies me. We are waiting for the Houston PD to begin the press conference. They said it would be a little bit after 11 Central. And Summer Lou is on doggy cam today. That is Summer Lou. aka Summer Rue. Here's something for you. You want to know what bleached hands look like? You want to know what bleached hands? Here we go. Here we go.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're here to discuss the missing person investigation of Rudy Farias. But before I do that, I want to address our dash cam news that's been in the news starting 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to do that really, really quickly. And then I'm going to bring up Lieutenant Zamora from the Missing Persons Unit. Who'll provide some detail on the investigation. And also Commander Garcia will come in and translate for us. So a few weeks ago, there were a report that we only had only 15% of our vehicles were equipped with body-worn cameras, with dash cams, I meant to say. That didn't take into account that we don't equip dash cams on investigative vehicles. So let me give you just a quick breakdown on the actual numbers. We have about 3,200 vehicles on our fleet used for various duties. 1,400 of those vehicles are equipped with lights and sirens, our traditional patrol cars. 1,800 of those are investigative vehicles and undercover vehicles. Of that number, of the 1,400, not every marked vehicle is used to conduct traffic stops, investigations, calls for service. Examples: if you have a vehicle that's assigned to public affairs, community affairs, it's a show vehicle. I'm not putting a dash cam on it. If we have vehicles assigned to our training division and we're just training officers how to drive, I'm not putting dash cams on that. So the actual numbers, we have 579 vehicles out of the 1,400 vehicles are equipped with dash cams. The mayor has agreed to devote additional $2 million, and that will outfit an additional 143 vehicles. So we're not at 100%, like I said when I did that interview, but we're definitely moving in that right direction. So I want to thank the mayor again for stepping in with that funding. Last thing I want to say about that, and we'll bring up the lieutenant. During my administration, which has been a little bit over 2 years, we've equipped 355 vehicles. That's probably 60% or so of our fleet right now. So we do believe in transparency, and definitely as the chief of police, I believe in transparency. So anything that we can do to move that in that direction. But I'm going to bring the investigator up, and we'll hold up, Mario. I'm going to bring the investigator up, and we're going to entertain all questions at the end about the dash cams and also this investigation. So we'll entertain everything at the end. Come on.
Come on.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Zamora with the Homicide Division Missing Persons Unit. To my left, I have Detective Sergeant Jimenez, Detective Brian Ford, and Detective Atlanta Claiborne. Today we're discussing facts related to 25-year-old Rudy Farias, who was reported missing on March 7, 2015. He was 17 years old when his mother reported him missing. During the 8-year time frame where he was missing, investigators followed up on many tips, leads, collected evidence proving that Rudy was not missing during the 8-year period. Many of these facts included contacts and statements with relatives, friends, neighbors, and medical professionals. Rudy was recently identified as having previous HPD interactions, meaning that he made contact with patrol officers out on the street. However, during these contacts, fictitious names and date of births were given, misleading the officers, and Rudy would remain missing. In fact, both Janie, Rudy's mother, and Rudy himself gave fictitious names while interacting with various patrol officers. After investigators talked with him yesterday, it was discovered that Rudy returned home the following day on March 8th, 2015. The mother, Janie, continued to deceive police by remaining adamant that Rudy was still missing. She alleged her nephew was the person friends and family were seeing coming and going. However, we disputed that. Currently, the DA has declined any charges at this time for making fictitious reports and failure to ID.
What?
Investigators have reached out to Adult Protective Services. HPD Victim Services has reached out. We've also connected Rudy with Victim Services to ensure that he has a method to recover. Now, based on Rudy's interview, there were no reports of sexual abuse reported. If there is a disclosure made, we will continue to investigate. Currently, the investigation is active, and there are new leads coming in. We'll continue to follow those leads. We do take all allegations seriously, and any new information or facts that we receive will be investigated.
Thank you, Lieutenant. One question at a time, please.
Oh,
Do
no.
not yell them out.
I'm going to let him translate, then we're going to do it.
Okay,
Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Chief. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Buenos días y gracias a todos por estar aquí. Antes de hablar sobre el caso involucrando a la persona desaparecida Rudy Farias, vamos a hablar un poquito sobre un asunto que ha aparecido en las noticias, que es referente a las cámaras montadas en el tablero de los vehículos policíacos. Queremos avisarles que de todos los vehículos que tenemos en nuestra flota, no todos necesitan una cámara montada. Muchos vehículos son usados en investigaciones, no hacen paros de detención de tráfico y esos no necesitan cámaras montadas. También si son vehículos que van a ir a asuntos comunitarios, esos vehículos no necesitan cámaras montadas. Lo que sí podemos decirles es que de los que sí necesitan cámaras montadas, el 50% de nuestros vehículos tienen esas cámaras y estamos trabajando con el alcalde que nos ha dado $2 millones para ponerle las cámaras al resto de nuestros vehículos. Aproximadamente 143 vehículos van a ser, se les va a agregar esa cámara montada y esperamos acabar con el resto de la flota cuando haya fondos necesarios. Ahora, referente al caso de Rudy Farias, voy a hablar un poco sobre lo que dijo el teniente de esta investigación. En el 2015 se reportó a este individuo como una persona desaparecida. En ese momento tenía 17 años de edad. La investigación que han conducido los detectives nos indica de que esta persona en realidad no estaba desaparecida, que hubo contactos con la policía durante estos 8 años. Desafortunadamente, cuando hubo contacto con la policía, este individuo dio otro nombre, un nombre ficticio, y por eso nunca se pudo indicar en nuestros récords, en nuestros archivos, de que esta persona que había sido reportada desaparecida había tenido contacto con la policía. Entonces, van a contestar sus preguntas. En este momento nada más quiero decirles de que cualquier necesidad que tenga Rudy se le va a dar. Si necesita ayuda de nuestras divisiones de asistencia a víctimas, se les va a proporcionar. ¿Okay? No se les ha dado ninguna, el procurador, la oficina del procurador no ha aceptado ningún cargo en este momento. Gracias.
Go ahead, Roger.
We heard from activist Quinell X, and he made some shocking allegations that he was in the room with a detective and he heard from Rudy firsthand. He said that there were sexual abuse allegations and that he was drugged by his mother. From what you just said today, are you saying that the activist was lying?
Basically, what we're saying is our investigation is our investigation, and we treat it the same. We're going to our investigators were in the room, and basically, what they heard and what they interviewed, that's what we attest to in our offense reports and our investigations. And I'm not here, neither are they here, to question anybody's integrity. But our integrity with the Houston Police Department stands, and we're going to report and put in offense reports what a victim or potential victim tells us. Okay?
But just to be clear, in that room, the detective did not hear anything about sexual abuse allegations. Can you just clear that up?
Yeah, Sergeant Stefan Jimenez. Yes, I interviewed him, and no, there was no, I'm trained to listen for probable cause. I'm trained to listen for statements that can help me get charges or move forward with a case. And no, there was no statements made during this investigation so far, no.
Thank you. Next question. Go ahead, Mario.
Can that be answered in Spanish?
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
I want to
We
get
get it.
clarification on this, Chief,
Yeah.
because there's a key word there. You
Go
said
ahead.
there was no reports of sexual abuse. Is that correct, sir, what you said?
That is correct, coming from
Okay.
Rudy Farias.
Was there any conversations about a sexual relationship between the mother and the son?
So we don't release any type of information related to sexual assaults. That's just state law. I
Okay.
can't comment on that.
Go ahead.
Is Rudy a victim then in all of this, or did he and his mother work together? And I mean, he wasn't missing now.
The investigation is still going on, Courtney, and I'm not going to say that he's a victim or not. I'm thinking, and saying we're going to treat this just as we do with any potential victim or victim, and we're going to give respect to everybody that's involved. We're going to conduct our investigation, and we're kind of right at the beginning of it. This investigation is going to go on after this press conference.
What's next? Could we see any charges?
If charges are appropriate, they'll see, but let us conduct the investigation. And what's next, Courtney, just as any other investigation, we're going to follow our evidence. We're going to do more interviews, and we're going to follow the evidence, and I think that's important. Go ahead.
Chief, can you say, were there any signs of mental illness, that he might be mentally ill, that his mother might be mentally ill?
We're not going to say that right now. Anyway, we're going to conduct the investigation. It's really too early to determine that. There are going to be some more parts to the investigations, and some of that may come into play, but right now.
So just because there were some other allegations that he had been held prisoner, that he had been taken to Mexico, is there any indication that that was true, or was that like a delusion?
Lieutenant?
Because that would have been kidnapping, right, or holding somebody against their will?
We don't have any information to say that there was any kind of kidnapping or anything like that right now.
Okay.
Have any search warrants have been served at the house where he used to be?
I think so. No search warrants.
No, at the time he was reported missing 8 years ago, being missing is not a crime. So the detectives had no lawful means or probable cause to issue a search warrant for the residence, which was searched several times.
We're going to work our way down, and we'll get back to you. Go ahead. Yes.
On the dash cams, what's the timeline for installation for the new ones?
There's no permanent timeline. As you can imagine, there's a cost to it, and there are some complications. And give you one just quick thing, a challenge. 200 of our vehicles are modeled 2014, are older. That's a challenge. I'm not, when we're up against a financial budget like we are, you got to pick and choose, and you got to prioritize some things. So, but as quickly as funding comes in, we're going to work to getting all of our patrol vehicles and those vehicles that come into contact with the public with dash cams. But I want people to realize one thing: 100% of our officers that's out there on the streets have body-worn cameras on, 100%. And we know for a fact that if you would choose dash cams, I'd love to have both systems, okay, 100%. But once you get out that car, where most things happen in an interaction hand-to-hand, I want that body-worn camera. But as we get funding in, and as I said, the mayor is stepping up, and like he always does, but he can only do so much. This funding issue didn't start, and I'm going to say this: I stay away from politics, okay? But the citizens in Houston, at some point in time, we're going to have to really face how we're going to properly fund public safety and public servants, okay? Because you need better fire trucks, you need better equipment. We can't keep kicking that can down the street. We're going to have to talk about things of a revenue cap, but we'll leave it to the politicians. Next question. Go ahead.
So I heard you mention that there was no need for a search warrant when he was reported missing years ago, but in between yesterday and the day that he was discovered, was anything searched? Was anybody questioned? Did anybody go by the house?
Rudy and his mother were interviewed yesterday. As far as anyone going to the house, it's still active investigation. We can't release details pertaining to that.
Also, quick clarity, was he 17 at the time that he was missing?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So he's 25.
He's 25 now. Yeah. Go ahead, Mario. I'll get you all up.
Quick
Go ahead.
clarity, was there a missing persons report filed by his mother at the very beginning?
That was in March 7th, 2015.
So there was a missing persons report that was filed.
Correct.
And so this is what I'm asking on this end. Could the mother be detained for filing a missing persons report and never once informing HPD that he came home?
Yes, she could be reported or detained. That offense is a Class C misdemeanor, which is similar to a traffic citation. Right.
Rudy Farias was found on Thursday. Your investigator spoke to him nearly a week later. Do you think it was a mistake not to speak to him sooner? You said yourself the DA has not accepted charges. That's a week where evidence could be destroyed. What's your response to that?
So it's procedure for the investigation to go through a channel, and when it reaches us, we review it. There was no urgency to investigate a recovered or found person. And I say that because patrol officers made contact with him. They ensured that he was safe. They contacted HFD to make sure that he didn't need medical treatment, and he was cleared on scene by HFD. He refused transportation to the hospital. His mother took him to the hospital later on that evening.
What the lieutenant said, I think, is important. You can't force a potential victim of a missing person, okay, with nothing else, to come in and give a statement. So it takes time to try to work with people to get that statement.
And Chief, I know you believe in transparency, and for the public, we're going to put this on the news and it's going to cause more questions, because yesterday we hear from the activist who makes these shocking allegations, and as a reporter who was there, I did see him myself go in and out of the room, so it was clear that he had some sort of communication.
Transparency doesn't come in front and maintaining the integrity of the investigation, and that's where my transparency stops. But and this is the last question I'm gonna ask about the activists or anybody else. You know, we're gonna follow our investigation, and we treat it the same. Everybody has a role in society, and we respect everybody, including our activists. But the integrity of the investigation is number one, and we're going to maintain that.
Him going inside that room, did that jeopardize the investigation by allowing him inside that room?
I don't think so. Go ahead.
Anybody? Do we know where's Rudy at this moment and his mom?
Yes, we do. Rudy's safe. He is with his mother by choice.
And he's an adult.
Yeah.
He's a 25-year-old man.
Right. Hey, we're going to get a few more. Mario right here, and then we're going to work our way down. Probably 4 more. We're going to wrap.
You used the word a minute ago in describing Rudy as a victim. We know that
I said potential victim, and I want to be respectful on that. Yeah.
He disappeared when he was a young man, a teenager. Okay.
17.
17 years old. There's been cases in the past where people have been brainwashed, where people have been told you cannot do, and they're being held against their will. For everyone that's going to be watching this worldwide, because this is a worldwide story, how do you not separate him until you guys are able to get everything together, considering that he disappeared as a child?
Mario, you've been in the business for a long time.
I have.
And I'm gonna let you answer that, okay? We've explained everything, some of the challenges and whatnot. Here's a fact. He's a grown man. Listen to what I'm saying. You want me to answer? No, he was an adult, 17. Hold up, okay? not confrontational. You know, I respect what everybody does, okay? But 17 years old, that's an adult in the state of Texas, okay? A lot of things that we shared up here. So we're going to work our way through it. It takes a little while. There's a lot of development still, even last night, okay? We know that. Everything's coming up. We're going to investigate it. The integrity is going to stay in place. We're going to treat him the same as any other person that comes through that we're conducting an investigation on. I'm done with that part.
You
Go
said
ahead, Courtney.
officers.
Detective, this might be a better question for the
Go ahead.
detective, I don't know.
Okay. Anybody?
What's the reason then, what can you tell us about why Rudy and his mother then allegedly lied for 8 years and said he was missing when he clearly wasn't?
I can answer that though. I mean,
Yeah. What's the
we
reason?
can't predict motivation or whatnot.
No,
We can just
because
try.
they
Yeah.
offered during
Right.
their interview
Yeah.
that they said, why go on living this life?
But you know, during the interview and the particulars of it, it's active investigation.
Right,
We
but you
respect
can't
that.
give us anything.
Okay. Yeah. Next question.
Yeah, I mean, an 8-year investigation like that, how many resources does it take out?
We wasn't just doing 8 years total investigation, okay? So it went dormant for a little bit, but the case was still open, okay? And I want to say this: until we find people, until we clear it, that's when it should be cleared. But if your question is, we expended some resources, absolutely, yes.
You said that with the dashboard cameras, the age of some of the vehicles presents a challenge to installation. Is that what you meant? I'm trying to clarify.
No, you're prioritizing, okay? We're in a budget that there are challenges, okay? And what I've presented, and we'll side note this, okay, because it takes a little while to explain it. When you have challenges, people look at a $1 billion budget, okay? And everybody just, oh my God, HPD has a lot of money. 92% of that goes to salary and benefits, so it's not a whole lot of money. We have to pay our people, and we have to be competitive. The mayor just gave $7.2 million so we can get more cadets in. So there are a lot of challenges. And what I'm saying is, this didn't happen just in the mayor's administration. For years, you need so much amount, $14 million. I always talk about that to properly replace vehicles in our fleet. But some years when things are just, you got a lot of stuff going on, okay? When you don't get that, it kicks it back and it makes it worse. We have an aging fleet. 50% of our vehicles, or a little bit more, are beyond the replacement life. And that's patrol vehicles, 100,000 miles, 5 years. Unmarked vehicles, 120,000 miles, 7 years, okay? So we have a very aging fleet and a lot of other problems. So we prioritize, and we're going to get there where we need to. But outside state, go ahead.
I just want to clarify, so then,
yes,
because I know you said it's an ongoing investigation, but can you say whether that they did give some sort of explanations to why they did this? Or
no.
You can't say it all? Or?
No.
You
we're
said
not
patrol
say
units
anything.
made contact.
Let me get you,
with
and then
Rudy.
I'm going to get you. You're going to be the last one. Go ahead.
So I know that, why were HPD officers at the home this morning? And also, I know family members are concerned for Rudy's safety. Is there no concerns as far as the investigation?
You guys want to talk about that call for service?
We can. It's a call for service. There was a burglary report last night at the house. Patrol responded, and we were alerted because it was a house of note, and it's been part of the investigation, and that is also now part of our investigation, what happened last night. And it's still
You
going.
said in the beginning of this press conference that Rudy has made contact with patrol units at some point. Can you explain what that was, and does he face any charges for saying that he had false names?
So it is a criminal offense to give false names when you're detained under arrest or you're making a valid police report. There was an instance where he did that, him and his mother. At this time, though, the district attorney has declined to accept charges on that until our entire investigation has been completed.
So you tried to charge him as well?
The facts were presented to the district attorney.
Mario, we're going to end it, okay?
Can you say what that contact was quickly, though, with him? You said patrol units. Was it like he was stopped in his car? Can you just tell us?
I was going to ask specifically, did HPD ever go to his home and with his mother, and were any fictitious names given at the home?
excuse me. Investigators did go out to the home multiple times. They talked to various family members, relatives, friends, neighbors, and yes, they were given a fictitious name.
So was there contact made with Rudy at his home?
Let me close with this one thing, okay? Let me close with this, Mario. Look, we've been open as we can. It's not our first investigation, and everybody here understands what I'm saying about the integrity investigation. This is where we're going to end. We wanted to get up before a lot because this has come as not only a local, but a national, in some cases international, okay, because of everything that's going on. But it ends today, not our investigation, but as we get more information and when it's appropriate, we'll send out information, okay? So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for your patience, and thank y'all for what you do every day.
Rudy's father, did you know Rudy's father when you were on the
That's it. All right, thank y'all.
Patrol, did you know Rudy's father, Chief, by any chance, when you were in the department?
Oh, he didn't answer him on that one. Did you know Rudy's father came at the very end?
Get up before.
He was like, we out. This is the weirdest
it ends
shiz.
Today, not our investigation, but
Weird.
as we get more information and when it's appropriate, we'll send out information, okay? So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for your patience, and thank y'all for what you do every day.
Rudy's father, did you know Rudy's father when you were on the
That's it. All right,
when
thank
you were on
y'all.
Patrol, did you know Rudy's father, Chief, by any chance, when you were in the department?
The one guy, the one that I don't know who he is. He looks like the Kate +8 dad. This one that kept saying the DA doesn't want to press charges, is that John and Kate +8's dad or whatever? John and Kate +8. So it sounds like they still have to build their investigation. Mario is a reporter, and this ain't Mario's first presser. I just think they're telling us all they can. And it sounds to me like there might be more to the story, but we have to let them figure it out. And the first pressers, like Daisy said, are always weird. They always feel weird because they can only give us little tiny bits of the story. Yeah, where's Kate? Bring Kate in on the presser. They're probably going easy on them because they had a cop in the family that says harlot. Maybe. I know Mario's getting the side eye. He's getting the side eye from the chief. And then John in Kate +8 is looking dead on like, just shut up. I bet you they hate doing these, especially the first one, because they know they're going to get these questions. And if they don't take the questions, then it's even worse. So they're in a catch-22. It's like we take questions and we say we can't answer them, or we don't take questions and they say we're not being transparent. They're in like a lose-lose situation. And we always knee-jerk and we go, oh my God, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? Why aren't they fucking doing anything? Why the fuck aren't they investigating? Why the fuck isn't she behind bars?
Eddie, what have you done for me lately?
And then we find out, I don't know, maybe 3-4 days later, maybe a week later, that there's somebody in custody. You just never know. Bye, Mario. Nobody's got time for Mario today.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So I wanted to address the Quanell X. I get that he's like an activist, but I thought he was like a new Black Panther activist. If I sound ignorant, it's because I am, okay, and I admit it. But like, why is he jumping in on this one? So, for example, like Heidi Broussard went missing in Texas. She was found in Houston. Why wasn't he passing out missing persons flyers for her? Didn't he say the mother called his ass? I could have sworn in my video. If you guys want to screen grab that before I remove it, go right ahead. But I could have sworn Grizzy, I don't know who that is. Grizzy's Hood News. Who's that? I thought that the mother called Quanell and asked him to come to the hotel. Okay, let's go back to my video and I'll show you Quanell again. He actually did a whole presser yesterday. We'll watch that. Quanell X. What's this guy's name again? Rudy. I'm sorry.
So is that a joint?
I am like medicine head.
Or is it a cigar?
Farias. Excuse me. Okay, here it is.
Okay, fire with your questions.
So you've been here with Rudy and his mother?
Hang on. Let me turn it up.
A few hours, yes.
What are the conversations like?
Okay, it's very quiet. So let me turn it. Let me get some gain going on here. We need more gain. Okay, let's see what he has to say for himself.
Okay, fire with your questions.
So you've been here with Rudy and his mother?
For a few hours, yes.
What are the conversations like?
Let me first apologize for my appearance. I received an emergency phone call to get over here for this meeting with the detectives.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I have to laugh because he just told her that he apologizes for his appearance. Quanell X is a new Black Panther. I had to actually look it up. All right. This is from his website, Quanell X. He's an activist for all who've suffered from injustice. He's of the new Black Panther Nation, the new era, and it says unity is the key. United we stand. He has stuff about shooting. Quanell X goes through police training. Human and civil rights leader. And August. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. He was the what? Wait a second. Guys, he was the national spokesman for the platinum recording rap group The Ghetto Boys from 92 to 95. Many hip-hop artists have sampled his speeches and television interviews on the rap songs. The Ghetto Boys, my mind's playing tricks on me, right? Jay Leal, what is my gut saying? I don't know. Let's listen to Quanell and then let's reconvene. My mind is playing tricks on me. Isn't that Ghetto Boys? I swear that's Ghetto Boys. All right. Here, let me find my screen again. I just thought it was funny. I apologize for my appearance.
Hours, yes.
What are the conversations like?
Let me first apologize for my appearance. I received an emergency phone call to get over here for this meeting with the detectives and Rudy's mother and Rudy. And so I dropped everything I was doing and made it as fast as I possibly could. And I spent about an hour and 20 minutes one-on-one with Rudy and with one of the detectives. I heard horrific things from that young man. And I did not want him to see me start shedding tears, but I couldn't hold back the tears because of the things he was saying to us, the detective and myself. No child should ever be treated like that by your own mother. This young man said that when he initially ran away, he came back 2 days later, and she told him that he had to hide, that he was going to get in trouble, and they were going to arrest him for running away, and that he had to continue hiding. And so she hid him out for a while, then brought him back to the house and hid him in the home. And initially, whenever the investigators would come, she would hide him in the house. And he kept saying, I don't want her to go to prison. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to go to jail.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's lying, you guys. I don't think he's lying at all. I think that he had an honest conversation with these people. And I think investigators, that's why they said, when they said, is Quanell lying? Did the activist lie about the conversation that took place? And they did not say, yes, he lied. They said, we have our investigation. And that's all they're going to say. They didn't deny it. They have to build a case. Now, are the cops going to come out and say what he has said? No way. But he's saying it, and he probably shouldn't have, but he did. So I'm believing this guy so far. I don't think he's got ill will. I don't think he's got bad intentions. I'm not seeing him looking for a cash grab. I just don't. I think that a lot of people are looking at this because he's black, and I'm just going to say it. And they're like, what does he want? Da, da, da. Because no one looks at Tim Miller like that. No one looks at Tim Miller like that. When I played the clip of Tim Miller, y'all were all saying, I fucking love him. This guy hasn't done anything wrong. So let's keep an open mind. Let's continue.
And so we asked him, why did you run away? And he said he just got tired of her not respecting his boundaries. And she said that he wanted his own life. And his exact word was, I was tired of living like a slave.
So maybe Quanell is looking at it like, I've got to be this kid's voice. I've got to be this kid's voice. And if I say it out loud, maybe he will be more prone to leave her side. Maybe that's his motive here.
She would take him to work with her, and he would do the required work she was supposed to do. And a lot of the responsibilities of her job was on him. And he went on to say that what troubled him the most was her crossing his personal space boundaries. He said that she would make him sleep in the bed with her.
Oh. See, I think this mother is suffering from major, major mental illness, and I think the suicide of her husband sent her over the edge, and I think she kept her son close and replaced her husband and her son with her last existing son, and she's sick. And I think that this guy heard all these details, and he can't not say anything. I couldn't not say anything either.
And he said that she made him play daddy. He said,
okay, this guy's tearing up. This isn't fake. We've seen mothers that are missing children fake cry. This guy doesn't even know this kid, and he's tearing up.
That he didn't like getting in the bed with her. That he would try to sneak out of the bed and sometime hide under the bed, but she told him he had to be her husband. Oh my God. That's a damn shame, man. A little boy said she was the one providing drugs to him for years. Hallucination drugs, mushrooms, etc. And that The reason why he was left, he was just tired of her crossing his boundaries. When he would shower, she would come and pull the shower curtain back and stare at him, and then she would make him bathe her.
Oh my God.
With the soap.
Guys, this is horrific. Bless this guy's heart. And maybe the cops let him in there because they wanted this to be said. Did you ever think of that? That maybe the cops were working with him to get this information, to get these statements, to have a witness. And maybe they're not telling the press in a press conference because they're keeping the investigation tight till they get her. This is horrible. This is the most horrific thing I've ever heard. I can't even imagine a mother doing this.
And he ran away this time because he was tired.
Well, now, you've been doing this for many years. How emotional has today been with this case?
It's a goddamn shame. I ain't never in my life heard of a mother doing to a child what this woman did.
Were you at all there when the mother was questioned?
Yes.
And what was her reaction when
Yes.
you talked to her?
And I knew something was wrong with the story. When she was questioned, when they found him, he had her credit card in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
She just canceled that credit card 2.5 years ago. So if he's been missing for 8 years, how the hell he get your credit card in his pocket when they found him from 2.5 years ago? And he said to us that she gave him that credit card so he could go and buy her certain things.
But with the other allegations, what was her response to those allegations?
She hadn't even heard them because we had to remove her from the room.
But so she hasn't been questioned?
They removed her.
Can you describe her demeanor and his demeanor during questioning?
When she was in the room, he wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't say one word when she was in the room. But the minute she left the room and we were allowed to talk to a young man, and he asked.
Okay. I think I see why the cops aren't throwing him under the bus. They don't want... Okay, this is what's going on here. They don't want the mother to know that they know these details. This is what I think. They want the mother to think they did not hear these statements.
He said, "Can I speak with Mr. X by myself? Can I talk to Quanell by myself?" And the detective was like, "Well, can one of us stay in the room?"
See?
And he was like, "Okay, but..."
See, the detective stayed in the room, but they are going to make him look kind of like a liar because they don't want the mom to know they heard it. Okay? That's what's going on. This is all an investigative tactic. They're throwing him under the bus, so to speak, and he knows it. He doesn't care. And yes, they said Rudy is safe. He is with his mother, but I'm sure they've got eyes. They've got eyes.
But I'll talk to him. When she left, when he first came here, he was holding on to her. He wouldn't talk to nobody. He wouldn't say one word to anybody. Like he was petrified. But the minute he got alone by himself, he slowly calmed down. And he slowly began to talk very coherently and specific details.
This is a man in his mid-20s. People might wonder, why not run away from this situation? Why not get yourself out of it? Did he give you any explanation about that?
I honestly believe, based on what he said to us, she was drugging the hell out this kid. And she convinced him that he was in trouble for initially running away and that law enforcement wanted to arrest him and put him in jail for running away. She had convinced him that all type of agencies were looking for him to put him in jail.
He was in plain sight, according to you, in that he would take her to work.
No, he would go to work with her.
Right. He would stay
at the job with her.
She would take him to work. Where did she work, and where was he doing this work?
It was some kind of security job or something like that. Where they were at, I don't know, but it was a security type job, a nighttime security watch type job.
How did he end up in the church?
We still can't. He admitted that he had took mushrooms, okay? And 2 weeks before this, or a week, not even official, whole 2 weeks, her car was stolen, okay? When her car was stolen, she didn't know how the car was stolen, but the keys were in the car. And he stole the car. That's when he got into the accident in the car. And it was him that got into the accident in that car.
What was the story? I mean, this is 8 years he was reported missing. What's the story that he's been? I spoke to neighbors who said he went by dope, but he never kind of told anyone what happened. What was his story? Because
she had convinced him that he was in so much trouble for initially running away, and she gave this boy serious drugs to the point to where this boy needs extensive professional help.
How did he stay missing for so long? I mean, 8 years.
He was allowed to visit with some of the neighbors under an assumed name. She believed that after so many years, people had forgotten about the case, and that under an assumed name, and convinced him to use that name, nobody would put two and two together.
But he never told any of the people that he was with what was happening?
Never told anybody what was going on. And let me say this. That young man's body have scars all over it. Slice wounds from here, from which was forearm to his wrist. All type of scars on this kid. And he said that she often locked him in the room, that she would give him the drugs and lock him in the room. And there's a whole lot of mental health issues there, I believe, induced because of the drugs that this young man was getting.
At any point during this process today, did you see the mother detained by HPD?
They took her to another room and kept her there for a minute after he had confided with us what was said. I know they were on the phone with the DA's office and their superiors about this case, but I want everybody to know something. This young boy was not kidnapped by some strangers and he got away and they found him. That's not the case here.
You know, this happened on Thursday, and we're nearly a week later, and investigators waited almost a week to speak to him. Hearing the story that you heard, is it a concern that they waited this long to hear from him, given the story that you were told? It seems like he's had 8 years of dealing with this, and now another week.
I was shocked that they have not done more. I was shocked that they had not executed a search warrant on the home. I was shocked by that. And I said, don't you all think you need to get busy and execute a search warrant on that home? And the young man made it crystal clear to us that that's where he was, in the house. But he was living under this fake assumed name.
You think police failed in this situation?
Oh, big time. No doubt about it. Absolutely they did. Because there were several instances where calls were made about him to law enforcement, and they did not properly follow up and follow through based on the history of that address, because she hadn't changed addresses.
And some residents were saying this morning that she brought bags and she was trying to leave. Do we know something about that?
She was trying to do what?
She was trying to leave the house. She was trying to leave the house?
She did leave the house.
So she was trying to escape?
She did leave the house, and she was trying to get away from the house, yes.
Why was she at this hotel?
She said she felt that she was not safe going home because she had been receiving threats.
What now? Is the police investigation over? Where are they?
I can't say at what state their investigation is. But what I can say, it ain't no way in hell that the woman shouldn't be locked up immediately and that boy needs to go to the best drug rehab and best psychological mental health facility that we can find for him. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. That kid was just severely abused.
And what was the mother's reaction when you brought these stories to her?
I couldn't go back in the presence at that point. The police felt it was just best that she and I not speak again.
Does she,
because I was bitter.
Is she aware of these that the son told you?
Yes, she's aware. And then she goes back in there and tries to tell him, and she don't even know that was recorded. Tell him that you made it all up. That was just a lie.
Oh my God.
You said she would ask him to play daddy. Can you just she was sexually abused?
She would ask him to play daddy. She told him that he had to be the husband. She would.
See, I told you guys this lady's all messed up in the head from losing her husband. She's all messed up. All messed up. Jesus.
Forced him to sleep in the bed with her. And he was forced to sleep at times in the beds with no clothes on.
Was anything physically done?
Yes. But I don't want to talk about the kissing and all of that stuff. And
But he was telling you that there was some sort of sexual action that was happening between him and
ask you a question. If your mother tongue kissing you in the bed with her naked, what the hell is that? I mean, damn, do we have to go that far? That's what happened.
Oh my God, I love him. I love him. It's like, stop. Why are you guys asking all about the essay? It's so gross. The media can be so fucking gross. Gross. Good for you, Quanell.
And he was forced to sleep at times in the beds with no clothes on.
Was anything physically done?
Yes. But I don't want to talk about the kissing and all of that stuff. And
But he was telling you that there was some sort of sexual action that was happening between him and
ask you a question. If your mother tongue kissing you in the bed with her naked, what the hell is that?
That dude just said sex action. That reporter said sex action. Dude, I would have socked him.
Talk about the kissing and all of that stuff. And
But he was telling you that there was some sort of sexual action that was happening between him and
ask you a question. If your mother tongue kissing you in the bed with her naked, what the hell is that? I mean, damn, do we have to go that far?
I mean, damn, dude, for real. I mean, he looks him dead in the eyes, too. He's like, what is fucking wrong with you, dude? What are you even saying?
That's what happened. This is sick. This ain't normal. This is sick.
Juanel, if these allegations are true, and I understand the position you're in, if they are true, how long before you think there's an arrest?
Based on what that young man said to me in front of the detective, I don't see why she's not in handcuffs right now. I don't see why she's not in handcuffs right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Damn. Damn. That was some heavy shit right there. Wow. This is the saddest thing, is it not? Good Lord. He's like, damn, dude. I think the reporter was taking it a little too far, man. A little too far. Like, there comes a point where, like, the question's been answered. He's already said it. He went way further than he probably ever wanted to go. But, you know, in typical media fashion, they got to keep pushing the fucking issue. And this, my friends, is why the media is hated. That's exactly why. All right, guys, we have been going for 2 hours. I'm going to go get some rest. Thank you for joining. We will wait and see what unfolds. Thank you, everybody that was a new member today. Alpha, thank you for your super chat. My4Biz, thank you for subscribing. Shell, thank you for your super sticker. And Zinc Floyd, thank you for becoming a member during the stream. Thank you all, the moderators that were here. I am going to dance it out with you and go get some rest. See you guys soon. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I have heard it.
McNo.
And your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get
Objection!
wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that.
You know Don's full of shit.
Dreaming about Cadillacs, buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back.
Is it one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Bye, Jennifer.